going on, guys? It's Luke here. Took this quick in and out trade today, about 1.42R. Here are the executions right here. I'm going to run through this pretty quick. Really simple trade. Day's done pretty much by like 9:45. And yeah, so I'm going to run through this pretty quick, guys. Just so you guys know, like I think my TikTok's like shadow banned or something right now. I'm trying to get that figured out. So make sure to follow me on Insta. All the links are in the pinned comment. So I've been posting all my like short form stuff mainly on there, so go check that out. And just give me 1 second. I'm gonna pause this, and then we're gonna get right into this recap. All right, so coming into the day, I was leaning more bearish. We were approaching previous day low, and I wanted to see how we would react to previous day low. If price wanted to sweep it and continue lower towards previous week's low, which was my main idea. But as you can see right here, we end up sweeping previous day low, and we actually end up getting a bullish SMT because ES never does. And then we also get an internal bullish SMT. So you can see going over to ES never sweeps out previous day low at that time. It did now, but it never swept previous day low. It had just swept these hourly lows right here. And we had this, we had a bullish SMT coming into market open, and then market opens up and it just initially just starts ripping to the upside. So one of the bearish scenarios I was looking for was this 15-minute gap right here, because it had true day open resting. If I could just pull it up, if it would load. True day open was resting right around this 15-minute gap. Yeah, right here. And we had right here, you could see we were respecting like equilibrium, all in that range. So I was like, okay, maybe this would be a potential area to send price lower. But market opens up and we just start ripping to the upside. Now, I'm not going to just FOMO into longs. There was a nice pullback right here, this 1 minute. But again, I wasn't really confident in this. And from there, price ends up continuing up. And we end up finally tapping into this 15-minute gap right here. So again, I'm using this 15-minute gap as a condition. If price wants to hold it and respect it, we can potentially look for shorts back down. But if we trade through it, we're going to be looking for longs to London high. Now, what do we see here? So if we put the replay tool back on, price nuked all the way, or pushed all the way to the upside, and it ended up tapping into this 15-minute gap. And you can see we have a bearish SMT now. You can see that ES has not taken out any of this. So we're all the way up here on NQ. So we technically have a bearish SMT. Now, does that mean we're going to reverse? No, we need confirmation. So we're using this 15-minute gap, like I said, as a condition. If we get bearish confirmation, we can short and we can use that SMT as like an extra confluence. Now, I'm waiting for price to react out of this 15-minute gap. I'm waiting to see what it wants to do. And what I noticed is that we have an unfilled 5-minute gap below that I want to see maybe price rebalance into this 5-minute gap. And then we can use that 5-minute gap as a condition. If price respects it, you look for higher. If we disrespect it, you look for lower, because we have a 930 wick and all of those draws and liquidity lower. So at this point, I'm kind of just scaling down. And what I see is we do have a very small 3-minute gap, but I'm mainly watching this 2-minute gap right here. And I'm like, okay, maybe if we inverse this 2-minute gap and we start getting legs down on ES, I'm going to look for shorts just for a quick rebalance into this 5-minute. And then that 5-minute maybe sends price back higher, but we could catch a quick rebalance short. Again, price is ripped all the way to the upside. I believe we were also respecting the 0.79. So we respected the 0.79. We're respecting out of a 15-minute bearish first presented fair value gap. We have a bearish SMT. So at this point, I'm waiting for this 2-minute. Now, what I see here, and I don't wait for the 2-minute, I end up taking the 1-minute. Now, why do I take the 1-minute? Well, we could see there's a high chance after this 1-minute that price is going to flush lower. We get a strong displacing close right here. We inverse this 1-minute gap. Am I going to miss this trade because I want to wait for the 2-minute candle closure? I'm not going to do that, right? Or did this close at the same time? No. So yeah. So I just took the 1-minute inversion right here. Again, the reason being, I'm not waiting for this 2-minute. I have a strong, like I'm very convicted in this playing out, and I'm not going to wait and miss this trade. We got a strong 1-minute inversion, a nice V-shaped recovery, delivering off CE of a 15-minute gap. Again, strong 1-minute close to the downside. And then we look at ES at the same time. ES also tapped into a 15-minute gap. It also swept out some highs, and it also gave a strong 1-minute displacement close to the downside. So not only is ES and not only is NQ in a spot to deliver lower. Why? Because we're delivering off a higher time frame bearish gap. We're respecting the 0.79 V-shaped recovery. We swept out buy side, and we have a 1-minute inversion down with a strong displacing candle. ES is also in a spot to distribute lower. Why? ES is respecting a 15-minute gap. It also swept out some buy side, and it gave a strong 1-minute close. It didn't inverse, but like it's a strong enough close, and it has draws and liquidity lower. So I take the short here. I run my stop around the candle body. It was a bit of a bigger stop, 50 points. And I go break even at the 5-minute unfilled gap. And I was just targeting into this. If you look here, we had a 1-minute unfilled gap right here. So I was looking at this. I was like, okay, maybe we can come down, knife through this 5-minute, maybe like CE the 5-minute, something like that, where I could catch a little bit extra of this move. If you look, I just targeted just above CE the 5-minute, just above this 1-minute unfilled gap right here. I think, did I pull the fib? Let me just double check. Yeah, so I was targeting just above like OTE. Anyway, price starts coming down. We enter the trade. Nice displacement. I go break even right here right away, and I'm expecting price to flush. We look at ES. ES is also displacing lower, so this trade looks perfect. And then next candle, we play it through. We do get a bit of a chop right here, and then price ends up delivering. And as you can see, what does price do? Taps into that gap, and we do get a reaction to the upside. I don't know if did it respect. Yeah, you could see it respected pretty much that 0.705 and then came up, and we're kind of just chopping now. But just to recap it again, price pushes up off of market open, taps into this 15-minute first presented gap. We could see that we get an SMT. NQ takes these highs out. ES doesn't. And ES is also in a spot to distribute because ES at this point is reacting off a 15-minute gap, and it's also swept out buy side. ES and NQ both give a nice strong 1-minute close to the downside. NQ giving us the inversion and a V-shaped recovery. Break even at the unfilled 5-minute, and then full TP at around this unfilled gap right here, giving us about a 1.4R trade. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm done on the charts for the day, unless I check eval later, but probably just done. Definitely done on fundeds today, but that's it for me. Back at it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.